Welcome to Real Estate Exposed, helping people in San Diego buy, sell, and refinance their biggest investment, delivering you timely truths, exposing important issues, and helping you get into the right home. Here are your hosts, real estate expert Daniel Beer, top-ranked professional by sales volume at one of San Diego's largest brokerages, and his mortgage partner, Todd with over $2 billion in funded loans.
Good morning, KOGO listeners. This is Todd and I am without my partner, Dan Beer, today, but Dan is in New York, and I think he's probably selling some homes there, but I have got a special guest in the studio to help me be my co-host, Mr. Rich Johnson. So, Rich, thanks for joining us this beautiful Sunday morning.
Good morning, Todd. My pleasure to be here today.
It's a lot of exciting things happening in and around San Diego right now, and a lot of things happening in and around your company and your franchise. I can't wait to talk about.
Yep, a lot of really exciting things, and boy, things are really turning.
Things are turning. So what we're going to talk about today is, we're going to talk about Windermere Homes and Estates a little bit. We're going to talk about why use a franchise.
My favorite subject.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about, Rich has got some poignant mortgage questions to throw out to me this morning as well. So we're going to get those out of the way at the end of the show. So we look forward to it. But the first thing I want to talk about, Rich, is trade deadline's coming up with the Padres.
Trade deadline is here. We're all wondering what's happening. What's going to happen with Padres? Are they going to be buyers or sellers? Are they getting rid of players and dumping salaries, or are we going to go out there and try and make a pennant run for it?
So I'm not a big. I have to be honest. Dan's not a big comic book fan. I'm not a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody out there is, and I love the fact that we have the Padres here. Love it. But tell me, Rich, what does this mean?
I think we're sellers.
We're sellers?
I think we're gearing up for the future again. Yeah, we were very aggressive in the offseason, but things just haven't quite worked out. We're 8, 9, 10 games behind right now. I don't remember exactly how far, but we're probably going to be sellers and looking to next year.
What I saw this week was, one of the things I saw was a New York Mets player found out in the middle of the game that he was traded, and he started crying on the field.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I thought there's no crying in baseball.
Only for babies, but no, I guess he was really, he was sorry to leave, but that was an interesting story.
That's what I saw. It was all over the news. I was kind of touched by that, and a lot of people were touched by that. The other thing is Chargers back in the news again.
Yep.
Are we gonna keep them?
Well, now we're starting training camp. Practices just started. We're into the season. Everybody wants to know what's going to happen. We don't know. It feels like they're gone to me.
Right.
We don't have Antonio Gates the first 4 games of the season because he's out with a suspension. Rivers hasn't signed a new contract. So, yeah, the Chargers are in the news. Everybody loves the Chargers. When Charger season happens, I think it overtakes everything. So it could be our last year in San Diego.
Wow. So let's talk about that for a second, Rich. as a business owner here in San Diego, as one of the fastest growing franchises, Windermere Homes and Estates, in the real estate market, do you think that impacts us a great deal?
I don't think it impacts us too much in the real estate market. I think it impacts us more in other ways. I think that losing a pro football franchise lessens us as a major city. And I think that's the bigger impact. People can watch on TV. LA is only 100 miles away. But I think the fact that, we lost our basketball team back in the late 70s, never got it back.
Right.
If the Chargers leave, we're never getting it back. And, it'd be a shame because we couldn't get a stadium built.
It'd be a huge disappointment. To me, I know that I'm not a born and raised San Diegoan, but I'm a Californian.
Yeah.
But the level of fanfare and the level of support that we have for our Chargers here in town is unbelievable, and
Yep.
I think it would be devastating. If a small town like Green Bay can support a football team, how can not one of America's most beautiful cities support a football team?
Yeah, well, Green Bay is a publicly owned company. I do think there is one big impact that I didn't mention just now. If we were able to build a new stadium downtown or even in Mission Valley, think about the impact of future development around that stadium and the economic impact that would bring to San Diego. So if they leave, that's not going to happen. And I think that could definitely affect jobs and a lot of things here in San Diego.
So that could be it could be good.
Could be good.
I mean,
you never know.
It could be good if they stay. It won't be good if they go.
Yeah, exactly.
So the other thing that Dan and I always love to talk about and we love to make fun of on this show right now is the presidential race, because it's so far out, but everybody is throwing their hats in the ring, and now it looks like the Donald is leading the GOP.
Yes.
There are people even saying that he may not be the best president, but he may be the best president right now.
He has no qualms about stating his opinion, does he?
He does not.
He's fearless.
He is fearless, and he's got no filter button or no sort of drop button, when they're on the radio or on TV.
I mean, say what you will about him. That guy has, climbed Mount Everest and been knocked down to the ground and climbed back up again. He is not afraid, and he's got very definite opinions, and I think a lot of people resonate with him. And yeah, I think you either love him or you hate him.
Yeah, to me, I thought it was a big publicity, campaign, and I kind of felt like he was doing this to sort of promote his other products. But I mean, his other products they've all left him. Macy's left him. NBC left him. I mean, he's really now all in. So I mean, he doesn't have much to do. And then the Clintons are in the news again.
Oh yeah,
talking about whatever they're talking about, and everyone's saying that she may not be the right president right now. So I don't know what your thoughts are about that, Rich.
Well, I try to avoid two things, and that's politics and religion. And I'm not a big Hillary fan. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, but we'll leave it at that. So let's talk about something we have coming up. Dan and I have a Sellers Seminar coming up, and we are going out to you, the KOGO listeners, right now to let you know that you can reserve your spot for free, and the phone number to text your email address to is 858-900-3368. Our Sellers Seminar is 858-900-3368. We're going to have them in multiple locations. Dan's going to teach you how to learn how to put upwards of an extra $60,000 in your pocket and get your home sold in less than 96 hours. He's going to teach you staging techniques that will help sell for 12% more. If you're a KOGO listener and you register now at 858-900-3368, again, just text us your name, your phone number, and your email address. Will get you signed up. We're going to learn how to create a negotiating advantage over the buyer using a smarter strategy than the methods used by traditional real estate agents, and learn what money-making fix-ups will get you the greatest return on your dollar and you're preparing for your home for sale. But KOGO listeners, the one thing that we're doing is we're also giving you a chance to win a free home staging package. So again, the number to register for the Sellers Seminar event, which is going to happen in multiple locations across San Diego, 858-900-3368. Just text your name and your email address and we'll get you registered. Spots are filling up fast. We're looking forward to it. When we come back, we're going to talk about why Windermere Homes and Estates, why work with the franchise. Can't wait to get these questions answered, Dan. Rich, sorry. I'm used to Dan being here. Looking forward to talking to you soon. Good morning. Welcome back. This is KOGO Radio. Dan and Todd, Real Estate Exposed. Looking forward to a beautiful Sunday. And my partner and co-host, Dan Beer, is out of town. He's in New York. So I am so fortunate and so excited to have in the studio Rich Johnson, one of the owners of Windermere Homes and Estates. And welcome back again, Rich.
Thank you very much, Todd. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego today.
Sundays are always beautiful days in San Diego, especially when you own a real estate company, I'm assuming, because Open House Sunday, right?
Open House Sunday. It's a busy day for us.
It is a busy day. And one of the things I want to talk about is, a lot of crazy things are happening in the real estate world and these franchises and stuff like that. I'm hearing rumblings of all kinds of stuff, but one of the most exciting things I want to congratulate you on is you're one of the fastest growing franchises in the Windermere fleet.
We are actually the fastest growing franchise in the Windermere system. About 150 different franchise owners throughout the 12 western states.
So put that to me in reality. I mean, how big is Windermere?
So bottom line is we opened about 2 years ago. July 3rd was our 2-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We've now got 8 offices open that we built from scratch. We have over 300 agents, about 325 agents right now.
So if I'm driving around in the county right now, where are the 8 offices that I can find you guys at?
So on the coast, we're in Carlsbad.
Right.
Del Mar, La Jolla. We have an office in Santa Luz, close to where you live.
Yep.
We have a brand new office in Scripps Ranch,
Which we're going to get to in a minute because that's very exciting news.
We're excited about Scripps. And then we have 2 offices in Rancho Bernardo and one up in lovely Fallbrook.
Wow. So you've got basically San Diego covered.
We've got a very good footprint throughout the north part of the county now, and we're starting to spread out a little bit, and we have plans to grow further south.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, it's so exciting to be Rich and I have worked together now for almost 10 years, and it's so exciting to see this. So let's talk about Windermere. Let's talk about Windermere and you being the fastest growing franchise in their whole platform. And Windermere, I mean, that's like a Coldwell Banker. That's like a Sotheby's. That's like, I mean, it's a big name. So what does that mean?
Yeah, Windermere's, one of the largest, if not the largest, regional real estate company in the U.S. And, with over 300 offices throughout the group and, 8,000 agents. It's a really nice company. We have chosen Windermere because of the culture of the company, basically. The fact that they allow us to be very entrepreneurial. They support our growth. They have tremendous tools and resources that we're able to pass along to our agents. And economically, it's a model that allows us to work and grow and hopefully continue to grow throughout San Diego now.
So let me ask this question. A couple questions for you that just keep coming in as I'm sitting here thinking. I'm driving in my car right now. I'm thinking about buying or selling a home. Why would I want to choose a Windermere Homes and Estates agent versus any of these other multiple franchises that are out there right now?
Yeah, I think that answer's very clear. I think it's the professionalism, it's the training, the education, the knowledge, the experience, the negotiating, all of those things that we train our agents to learn and understand. Our agents have a very high level of expertise in real estate. So, anybody can get a real estate license. We know it's not hard to get.
Right.
There's lots of different companies out there, but it's all over the board when it comes to, the basic, expertise, if you will, of an agent. We really stay on top of education. As you know, there's many changes coming down with all the new CFPB rules.
Oh, my favorite organization out there, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Love that place.
Yes, and so, there's many things that are going to be affected throughout the implementation of those new rules.
Right.
Agents have to be educated on that. It affects everything, especially in the timelines, as you know.
Yep.
You've got to be able to guide your buyers, and you've got to be able to guide your sellers. And it's exactly the reason why Dan Beer is with a company like ours, is because we help him, and we assist him and support him in those efforts.
Dan Beer is our partner here on Real Estate Exposed. Is out of town right now. But one of the things we have very exciting coming up that Dan and I are putting together that Rich has blessed, again, is because Dan works for Windermere Homes and Estates, is our Sellers Seminar. And let's talk about the Sellers Seminar. What Dan is going to teach you is he's going to teach you little fix-ups that you should do to your house. He's going to teach you how he can get you more, almost $60,000 more than the average agent, and he can probably get your house sold in less than 96 hours. So what I want you to do, you need to go to this Seller Seminar. And when I tell you need to go right away. I'm going to give you a telephone number right now. I want you to text your name and your email address. We have it happening all over the county, 3 different locations, twice a day. You need to call 858-900-3368. Again, 858-900-3368. Tickets are going fast. Seats are filling up. And because you're one of our listeners, Dan is saying if you register, you're going to have an opportunity, if you list with Dan, to be able to get free staging on the house. And staging, Rich, I mean, is that an important thing?
It's a huge thing. I mean, staging obviously helps you get a higher price and sells the home much faster. And I would have to say Dan is probably one of the most innovative people about marketing your home and negotiating that price for you. And he can do it. I mean, these seller seminars, I think, are really exciting. I would urge you to attend one of these if they're in your area, or even if they're not, get to one.
It's all over the county. We're going to do one right around lunchtime and right before dinner. It's fantastic. 3 different locations. The number to call today, 858-900-3368. Put your name and your email address in, and we'll get you registered right away. So super excited about that. But more super exciting news, you guys are growing. You guys just just took over merged, bought.
Yep.
An office. Talk to me about that.
So, I'm an inland corridor guy. I live and work in the inland corridor, and
inland corridor for our listeners is what?
The I-15 corridor, basically. We believe there's a tremendous opportunity to grow. There's hundreds of real estate companies on the coast, and although we have a very strong presence there, we're very interested in growing along the I-15 corridor. And Scripps Ranch has been an area that's been on my radar for at least the last 5 years, if not longer.
Oh, I know longer because you and I have talked about Scripps Ranch forever. It
is a great area. It is an area that we wanted to be in, and we were really fortunate to be able to acquire a Realty Executives franchise and a new broker to join our team as the broker of record with Jim Burns, a 3-time San Diego Broker of the Year.
Wow.
So that happened on July 3rd, I think, was the actual date that we converted his office to Windermere, and we are in the process of Windermereizing it now.
So that's like a day or two before your 2-year anniversary.
I think it was the day after, or it might have been the 5th. I don't remember the exact date, but it was a fantastic day. It was the culmination of a lot of conversations, and to have that footprint there and to become a part of that community, and to be seeing Windermere signs now all over the place. We have some really good agents that came with the office that were flying under the previous flag, and we didn't lose anybody. They all stayed with us, and they're all really excited to join a bigger, growing franchise. And I think it's just a real infusion of energy. But most of all, we've got a location now in a place where we really wanted to be.
So let's talk about that growing. How much business are you guys doing in the last 12 months?
So we just we're really proud to say that over the past 12 months, we hit a milestone, and that was to get to $1 billion in sales. And by the way, Dan Beer has been a big part of that growth. Dan is probably one of the fastest growing realtors in terms of number of homes sold and volume in the county as well. But
we love you, Dan, even though you're in New York.
Even though you're in New York, I'm still thinking about you every day, Dan. But it's been fun. $1 billion in sales is a significant number, and it signifies the fact that we've been able to attract the top agents and the top people.
But $1 billion.
Billion.
At our previous company, I don't know if we even hit $1 billion, right?
It was close, but it took 13 years to get there in the previous iteration.
So
it's taken us two.
Two.
Yeah.
So does that mean that? And we're in a weird market right now, Rich. Right?
Yeah.
For you to be able to say we're doing $1 billion in sales, buying and selling, which with 250 agents in a very low inventory market, that's something you should be pretty proud of, I would think.
Yeah, we are. The market is a little bit strange. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's kind of all over the place. But we are just tremendously excited by how we've been able to grow and the people that we've gone and attracted, and and done it with a lot of help from you, Todd.
Well, I can't say enough of how great of a franchise you guys are. I can't say how great ownership is between you and Brian Gooding. I think the two of you are an incredible team. I think what you've accomplished in the last 24 months is something that is just the tip of the iceberg. And I think that we're going to be hearing a lot about Windermere Homes and Estates in the future. And I can't wait to ask you more questions. Excuse me, after the break. So listen, you guys are listening to KOGO 600 AM. This is a beautiful Sunday morning. We're so happy to have Rich Johnson in the studio, one of the owners and founders of Windermere's Homes and Estates. And when we come back, we're going to really ask Rich some hard questions. We're going to ask, why use a franchise? Why use a franchise? We'll be right back. Look forward to seeing you again, KOGO 600 AM. Welcome back, Sunday morning. KOGO 600 AM Real Estate Exposed with Dan Beer and Todd Pianin, and my co-host Dan Beer is in New York selling homes, making things happen, shaking things up in one of the busiest cities in the world. But I am so fortunate to have Rich Johnson here this morning, who's with me on this beautiful Sunday morning, who's one of the founders and owners of Windermere Homes and Estates, which we just found out is one of their number one fastest growing franchise. They're going to do over $2 billion, or $1 billion. They've sold in over $1 billion in homes in the last 12 months. One of the questions before we jump back into all the growth and all the excitement, though, Rich, that we've been having at Windermere Homes and Estates, can you talk a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market?
Sure.
Because right now, I mean, it seems to me that we're still low on inventory. We're still, I mean, explain all this if you don't mind. I don't mean to throw you off here, Rich, but I want to get some data out to our listeners this morning.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit all over the board. The market is, I would still say the market is still good. I mean, we're selling lots of houses. We're seeing moderate price increases. Last month, July over June, North County was 0.5 point. Detached outside of North County, though, increased 4 1/3%.
Wow.
So it's pretty decent.
Right.
It's up 5.5% over 14, June of 14. So that's pretty good. Attached prices in North County went up quite a bit, over 3%. But what's really interesting is the number of North County homes, single-family detached, increased in June just by 1.75%.
Right.
But year over year, North County single-family median price increased 6.92%.
That's great, right? I mean, we're bouncing back. Basically, is what you're saying is that our values are going up. Are we still in? Dan and I talk about it being a seller's market. Are we still in a seller's market right now, or are we?
We still are. I mean, I ran a couple of reports this morning and just ran Carlsbad and ran Rancho Bernardo with really our two main largest offices and where we do the most business. There's what's called a market action index that's reported by Altos Research, and anything over 30 is considered to be a seller's market.
What do you mean by 30? 30 days?
No, it's a numeric, it's a metric that they use, and so 30 is just the number that they use as a baseline for whether or not we're in a buyer's or seller's market. So if you're over 30,
right,
you're in a seller's market. If you're under 30, you're more in a buyer's market.
Got it.
So in Rancho Bernardo right now, the market action index is at a 45.2.
Wow.
So we're definitely still in a seller's market.
In Rancho Bernardo.
It's a great time to sell a home. I mean, these seminars that you're doing for sellers to understand how to get more money for their houses, sell them quicker, this is a great time to sell. If you're in that market and you might be thinking about selling, you got to go.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, real quick before you talk about, tell us stats for North County.
So same thing on the coast. It's a little bit weaker on the coast. It's a 36.7, but still, we're still in a very strong seller's market over there. Overall, though, inventory on the coastal side is still a little bit greater and taking a little bit longer to sell a home.
Right.
But on the inland side over here, we don't have much inventory, and homes are selling quite quickly. There's another interesting stat: median days on market for single-family homes in North County increased to 17 days.
So you're telling me that if I put a house on the market within 17 days, it's going to sell? That's
the median. The median days on market for single-family homes in North County. I mean, that is amazing. It used to, back when I got in the business, back in prehistoric times, it might take a year to sell a house, or 6 months to sell a house. We're talking about 17 days as the median in North County. That is nuts.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the seller seminar that Dan and I are putting on all across the county. Second week of August. We've got 2 times a day all across the county. Dan is going to teach you little fix-ups that's going to bring you in more money. Dan's going to teach you how to get $60,000 more than what you're expecting on the sale of your home, and he's going to sell it, he thinks, within 96 hours if you follow his techniques. The way to get to this, the way to be able to go to this class is you need to sign up, and you can sign up by texting your name and your phone number to 858-900-3368, 858-900-3368. You want to text your name, and you want to text your email address, and we'll get you tickets. Tickets are running out quickly, as Rich has just told you. This is that great class if you're a seller. And because you're a KOGO listener, one of Dan's and mine, if you go to the class, you're going to be eligible. If you list with Dan, you're going to be eligible for free home staging. So It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit. I mean, I don't think people know how big a benefit that can be to helping them sell their home.
Dan talks about it all the time on the show. Talks about how important staging is, and I can't wait to be at the seller seminar. I can't wait for you to be at the seller seminar. It's going to be exciting. Again, one more time, the telephone number 858-900-3368, and all you need to do is text your name and your email address, and we'll get those tickets out to you. They're going away quickly. So, Rich, let's talk about Windermere Homes and Estates, and let's talk about, there's two founders, it's you and Brian Gooding. And, if I'm an agent, how does that work? I mean, how's that working? How's that working out?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, Brian and I have been working together since 2003, right. For the most part, and we have very similar philosophies. We believe in agents. It's still an agent-driven world out there. There's a lot of things that are out there on the internet, but bottom line is, if you're buying or selling, you need expertise. And so, we look for agents that are.
I think I just saw a video of you and Brian that said you have like over 55 years combined real estate experience.
Unfortunately, yes, we've been around a while.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you're buying or selling a home, you should be interviewing a Windermere Homes and Estates agent. That's the company that Dan Beer works for, and that's the company he's my co-host, and I can tell you it's a great company. So, Rich, if we go back to, you talk about culture, and we talk about how fast your brand has grown and that your company has grown. Do you have a sniff test for your agents when you're hiring them? I mean, because I know a lot of companies, if you got a real estate license, they just bring you on board.
Yeah.
And is that how you guys work it?
No, we don't hire time wasters. There's people that are on the periphery of the business. They are working day jobs, or maybe real estate is a part-time thing for them. We only look for full-time professionals. We look for people that that are motivated. We look for people that want to have the tools and resources, the education, the experiences that a company like ours can bring to them, and that's really what we look for. So we're a little bit finicky. We could have hired a lot more, but that isn't the point.
You could have hired a lot more. You've grown so fast in 2 years, so it looks to me like you've hired some creme de la creme is what you've actually done.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that the agents today are looking for innovation. They're looking for getting more current and staying current. Technology is moving at the speed of light. And, with many franchises, I don't think they have in-house people. They've got to outsource a lot of different things that are really important to agents nowadays. So, the internet, how to have a good web presence, how to be able to display listings, how to be able to, give people what they're looking for. The use of video. We now utilize 3D technology. When it comes to looking at homes online, people can really get interactive with properties now. Drone photography. I mean, it doesn't stop.
I mean, the thing I love about Rich and I love about working with your company is that you're a techie like me, an early adopter like me. So I think that's super cool. One of the things that I have to say is that what I love doing is going into your offices because they don't look like real estate offices.
Yeah, that was a conscious decision. We do not have cubicles in our offices. We really
you don't look beaten down either. I mean, they're all like your RB offices. I mean, people, if you haven't gone out to the Windermere Homes and Estates Rancho Bernardo office or the La Costa Carlsbad office, these are the most beautiful real estate offices I think I've ever seen.
So I like to call them the love children of a Starbucks and an Apple store.
They are.
It's like I said, it's a conscious decision to build office space that is, not only progressive but is collaborative, and it provides a friendly feel. The public doesn't want to walk into a place that's filled with cubicles. We have nice conference rooms. It's open, airy, and it's a positive environment. When people walk in, they say, this place has a good vibe to it. Yeah. So that holds true for agents too. They work in the offices or they don't, right?
Right.
I mean, there's got to be reasons for agents to come into offices today, and so it's with that thought in mind that we built these.
They're so beautiful. It's unbelievable, and I'm super excited about. You guys need to go by those offices. So it's a great Sunday right now. We'll be right back. Rich is going to hit me up with some mortgage questions. This is Real Estate Exposed with Dan and Todd, KOGO 600. Welcome back to Real Estate Exposed here on KOGO 600 with Dan and Todd. Dan is out of town today, selling homes all across the country in New York City, having a great time. We miss you, Dan. Love you. But I've got the founder and one of the founders and owners of Windermere Homes and Estates with us today, and I'm super excited to have that. I hope we've made an enjoyable show for you so far, but I've had a great time. Rich has answered some real direct questions and talked about his growth and talked about all the acquisitions they've made and how big they've gotten, and you know, like we talked about how beautiful their offices are. So thanks again for coming in on Sunday morning.
My pleasure, and thank you, Todd. Very, very nice of you to say all those things.
It's a great company. It's a great company to work for, and it's a great company to do business with. So we're happy.
So Todd, you know, let's shift over a little bit to mortgage here. I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the mortgage, people buying homes.
Yes.
It's the backbone, right?
Yes.
They can't do it without a loan.
Yes.
And it's changed a lot over the years, and now it's even going to change some more.
It is going to change some more. You're talking about, well, for listeners out there, what Rich is talking about is TRID, which is coming down the pipe, and that's going to happen in October, and that could delay a lot of closings. We're trying to prepare all our real estate agents and our buyers and sellers that this could delay some things.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, this is something that is really important. And by the way, Todd has been my personal lender for a long time. And I think it's really important that if you're considering buying a home, that you engage an agent who knows what they're talking about. But even more importantly is to get a loan officer, get a company like Todd's on your team. Go speak to them, because there are lots of things changing, and you know, things can go very wrong for you if you don't have the right information.
Yeah, so the information that we want to get out to the public right now is TRID's rolling out on October 1st. And what that means, basically, it's part of Dodd-Frank, which was a ruling that happened about 3 or 4 years ago. And in this, the more disclosures, which means more time, which basically means that, how in a real estate transaction in the past, lots of moving parts, lots of renegotiations could happen. Well, what's happening now is it can delay closings.
Yeah. Because
if you start doing some renegotiations on seller credits or real estate agent credits and all that kind of fun stuff, that can delay the closing, and that's gonna start effective October 1st. So you need to make sure you're prepared for that.
So, Todd, what would you say, you know, when I'm talking to my agents, what's the most important thing that they should know when they're engaging people now that they're showing property to? We want to get them to you as soon as we can, right?
Right.
I mean, that's
so what I've been telling our real estate partners is nothing's really changing on our side. Where it's changing is we want to get those physical inspections done earlier. Mm-hmm. We want to explain to our buyers and sellers that this renegotiation that they sometimes do at the end, we need to bring that forward or not have it at all, because that'll cause changes. Because escrow, title, and mortgage, we've had to disclose our fees up front, and they have to be accurate for years now.
Right.
And we have to do that again right before loan documents go out. And where that could change is if we have credits from the seller or the buyer or the real estate agent for numerous things. So what about rates now? I mean, everybody wants to know, what's the expectation here over the next few months? Well, my crystal ball, which Janet Yellen, thank God, this week came out and told me that it's not going to happen in September. So we were talking about rates being raised in September, right, which is not going to happen now. I'm still a believer in December. I've been saying December we're going to start seeing interest rates start to move up. We've got to. I mean, it's just rates can't stay this low for this long. So, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about at the Sellers Seminar that we have coming up at the second week of next month that Dan and I are hosting. It's going to be all across the county, 2 sessions a day. We want to make sure that you guys are going, our KOGO listeners who listen to our show every week. The number to register is 858-900-3368. Dan is going to teach you all the little fix-ups that need to be done on your home. He's going to teach you about the psychology of marketing your home. And because you're a KOGO listener, and if you text your email address and your name and phone number now at 858-900-3368, you're also going to have an opportunity for free staging. That's right, free staging, because you're one of our listeners. So I want to see you at the seminar. We're going to talk about my economic forecast, what I think is going to happen in the future. So again, look forward to seeing you at the Sellers Seminar. So yeah, so to answer your question, Rich, I don't really see interest rates moving up that quickly over the next quarter or so. But I do see end of fourth quarter, we could see interest rates. We could see Yellen make a little move there.
Yeah, it's been an amazing run. Interest rates have, been historically low at the bottom. I've never seen them like this, and far longer than we ever anticipated.
Far longer. We didn't expect the drop that we saw in the first quarter of this year. We all expect interest rates to rise this year. Haven't yet. Still, things are super affordable. People are still buying homes with as little as 3.5% down. Fannie and Freddie have come out with new guideline changes that have been making things a lot easier to get loans right now. So I think that, the real estate market in general and the mortgage market in general, we're in for some exciting times ahead. I mean, I can't tell you how happy I am to be a part of that. So.
Well, thank you, and it's I would endorse these seminars highly. I mean, I think I'm going to head to at least one and make sure that I'm up to speed on what Dan's doing.
Yep.
But it is an encouraging market. You can, even if as you may be selling, you may be buying as well.
This is true,
and I think it'd be a great thing to do. And I'm excited to see what Dan has got to offer.
He's going to have a lot of little techniques, little sneaks. So listen. Thank you again for spending your Sunday morning with us. This is Todd Pianin with my co-host today, Rich Johnson. Thank you very much for coming in on our Sunday.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it.
And talk to you next week.